right, Mr. Simple Biz Guy, let's start the show.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning into the SimpleBiz360 podcast. My name is Jeff Mason, and I'm your host for episode 199. Can you believe we're here already? 3 business tips in 5 minutes is the flavor of the day. We're in the t-shirt and caps mode. So it's summertime. Happy summer. We're dressing down, having some fun, light and breezy episodes, and we're now on Rumble TV, which is so cool. YouTube, IGTV, Gab TV, and 28 listening platforms. So today we are going to be honing in on anticipating stories behind stories. So what do I mean by that? Well, we don't always know when we're dealing with our associates and friends and our customers, what's going on in their life. We don't know if they've been up all night with the dog throwing up and they've cleaned up vomit 5 times and they've taken the dog out 6 times and they haven't got a night's sleep, or the baby's, having a tough time teething. We don't know if they've had a car accident on the way in, car issues, health issues, a death in the family. They may be, dealing with and grappling with. They may have home repair issues. They may have marital issues. They may have financial issues. They may have social media hot water issues. Maybe they get embroiled in something that's really causing them some anxiety. What about anxiety attacks, right? What about migraine headaches? We don't always know what's going on behind the scenes, but whatever the case is, it's almost healthy for us as business professionals to anticipate that there may be a story behind the veneer of that person just being in the office and being in front of us. Hey, well, it looks like they're in a bad mood today. Maybe something's going on. Well, you've got to anticipate that. Maybe sometimes you can't even tell, but they're just a little grumpy. And so, something might be going on. So we just throw out some suggestions that, be conscious of this assumptive, maybe zone, if you will, and just always kind of go into the day thinking that, okay, I've got to be able to extend a little bit of rope. I've got to be a little more patient than I want to be, because there may be something going on here. And I know I'm like that. I can be a little bit of an eager beaver and a little bit impatient sometimes. And my wife always is that, she kind of just puts me in my place a lot and says, Jeff, just slow down. Maybe something's going on there. You just don't know anymore. So, try to be sympathetic and try to be empathetic when it's appropriate. If someone's been going through a tornado damage in their home and you've never had tornado damage in your home, you can be sympathetic, but you can't be empathetic. You can be empathetic, and we suggest you deploy that genuine empathy if you have been through tornado damage and they're now through it, and now you can talk about it. Certainly, we can be empathetic with sicknesses and so forth. So, these are some things that help comfort people. They may end up sharing some things with you that help you understand their mood or their mindset that particular day. And it's a great opportunity to, talk to them and share and be a friend and pray with them or whatever. But, certainly dig down deep inside. Just, kind of assume that there's always something going on. I mean, life is unimaginable sometimes, stranger than fiction. Think about this. I've always said, if you're an author and you take, you go on any block in any development, any town, any county, any city, any state rather, and you write a chapter on that family in that home, and then you go to the next home and you write a chapter in your book on them about their lives. You'd have a best-selling book, I think, on every street, because we just can't make this stuff up. Life is stranger than fiction, and it really is. And so, there's always something behind it. I have a prop with me today, and it's a blanket, and it looks like a pretty, bland blanket, right? So anyway, I had a situation not too long ago where we were having a holiday, and somebody needed a blanket to take home in the car with them. They said, Dad, do you have a blanket? I said, sure, I'll go grab one. This was the closest one I could get. I said, hey, but make sure I get that blanket back, Dad. Pretty crappy blanket. I mean, what's the deal here? I said, well, a blanket's special to me. Okay. So I don't know if they, tease me behind my back. They may have chuckled at it, but nonetheless, they got the blanket back to me and they said, we knew how important this was to you. So, here it is. Well, what's this blanket? What's the story behind this blanket? Well, I ran my first marathon. It took me about 16 to 20 weeks to train. I ran it in New York City. 3 million people watched. And I got the fever, right? 30,000 people ran it. I enter a marathon in Delaware and Maryland the next month. So a month later, I go in one that has 450 people. About 12 people watched it. And an Alberta Clipper came zooming through, dropped some snow, temperatures plummeted, and about 170 people had to withdraw from the race as they ran. I was one of the 250 that made it to the end. And at the very end of that race, you got this blanket given to you to warm up. So that blanket has about 24 weeks of training behind it and a story on a day that I'll never forget behind it. So I don't want to lose it. So that's the story behind the story. We're going to dip back today, Lost in the Shuffle. Oh man, 199, right? I went to the country to run this marathon. We're going to go back to the country with who? Steve Miller Band. It's called Going to the Country 1970. Enjoy it. We will see you in 168 hours.